What's up, everybody? It's Broken Bones here, and welcome to Broken's Bedrock Tutorials. Today, we're going to show you how to make a 2x2 flush piston door. So as you can see, we have a nice flat wall right here. There's no indentation, there's nothing showing itself. And if we place a torch right up here, we can see that out of the blue, a door opens. And you can go on inside, you can get access to your valuables. And then when you're done, you can come around back here. You can even close yourself inside if you want to stay a while. And when you're done, you can go ahead and open it back up. And when you're done in here, you can go ahead and lock it back up in the same spot that you placed your torch the first time. And if we take ourselves a look around back, there's really not much to the redstone. It's very, very easy and simple. We're using a T flip-flop with this copper bulb here, so therefore we can get away with having one area where we place the torch in the front, and we're getting away with having only one button in the back. And as you can see, there's really not much here, so it's simple to build and easy to use. And one of the best parts about this door is it's actually two doors working together. This is a 1x2 flush piston door side by side, and therefore it creates a 2x2 piston door, and it looks really cool. It's flush, no one can see it, and it's pretty much hideable. You can pretty much put this anywhere inside your base. You can put it on a flush wall, no one will ever know that it's there, and it's really easy to use. And so that being said, if you guys are excited to get started with the tutorial, then go ahead and smack the like button for me and subscribe if you guys are new, and let's get started with the tutorial. A material list will be down in the description. So to get things started, you're going to need to prepare an area in your base for this door, and as you can see here, this is our floor level, and from the floor level down, you'll need 4 blocks. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4 all the way down to the bottom there. And then your 2x2 piston door is going to be right here in the center, just like so. And as you can see, if we place a torch here, the door opens, so that's right where your door is. And so from your door, you'll need 3 blocks up before you have an overhang, and so therefore your wall can be 5 blocks tall in total. And so once you have that in place, you will need an area right here that is 5 blocks tall right next to your door, and that way you can place in your torch to open and close your door. From the side of your door, from over here, all you're going to need is 4 more blocks. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, and 4 will get you to the outside of your redstone over here. And then on the other side, it's only 3 blocks. So as you can see over here, we got 1, 2, and 3, just like that. So it's really not that much. And that is excluding the 2x2 in the middle. And so that's where your door is going to be. And then above your door, as I mentioned before, you're going to need 3 blocks above it before you have your overhang. And then above your overhang, you're going to need 3 blocks in total. So that's 1, 2, and 3 to house the piston and all the blocks, and right here you'll need 4 blocks just to house the redstone and making sure that it doesn't cut off the top from the bottom. And as you can see from the side, from front to back, is only 2 blocks wide right here, but we have this bit and we have that bit, and that's the decorative blocks that we have in place. So it's actually 4 blocks wide with the decorative blocks there. And then at the very top, you're going to have 1 bit of an overhang on this side, so that's actually 5 blocks wide all in total. And as I mentioned before, this is 2 doors working together. This is 2 1x2 flush piston doors side by side, and so therefore if you only wanted a 1x2 piston door, you could literally leave half of this built out and just build 1/2 of this on this side. And therefore, as you can see, if we go ahead and use our door, you can see that the pistons do show themselves right here. So this is one side of your door and this is the other side of your door. And if you're playing on Java Edition, you can stop right here at the top bit of the redstone right here, because you guys have what's called budding, block updating, and the block updates would power the bottom piston without all of the bottom redstone down here. This is for Bedrock Edition, and so therefore if you're playing on Java, you wouldn't need all of this redstone going on down here. What you see up here is everything that you would need, and therefore you wouldn't need this piston or this block or all the blocks going down below with this redstone block down here, or any of that redstone at all. You would still need this button, and you would still need the piston right here and the redstone lamp and everything, and you could just literally wire up your door from the top bit right here. So now that you've seen how this thing works, let's go ahead and show you how to build it. So to get things started, once you've found the place that you want to put this, keep in mind that you want to have a wall like this, something like that, where you have 5 blocks tall where you can place your torch. If your base is inside of a cave and your wall looks something like this, all you need is a wall where you can get at least 5 blocks tall to place in your torch, and your wall could look like this. For the sake of the tutorial, I'll be building the wall just like this after we build the door for visualization, so you guys can see stuff and the stone blocks aren't in the way. So in getting started, wherever you're going to be putting this, I would recommend going ahead and preparing the area that you need to go ahead and house the whole door assembly, and make sure that you build your wall back in like this. After you're done doing this, you can add blocks here if you want to. If you're making it look like a cave, you can add in all of the textures that you want to. You just need to remember that that on this row of blocks right here, which is right next to your door, that needs to be 5 blocks tall, because up here you will need to put in an overhang. We're going to be putting that in later. I'm not going to be putting that in now, but that area does need to be 5 blocks tall. All the other areas you can make look like a cave if you want to, unless you're having a flat wall. And once you have your area prepared, we're going to go ahead and come on into this side right here. We're going to look at this second block right here, these sets of second blocks. We're going to place in it 2 sticky pistons just like this, and 2 more just like that. We're going to come from this direction, and we're going to place in it 2 sticky pistons right there, and 2 decorative blocks right there. If you're doing a 1x2 door, this is your door assembly. If you're doing a 2x2 door, you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Place in 2 pistons just like that, 2 more in just like so, and then your decorative blocks go in right there. Once your door is looking like this, and if you built a 1x2 door, you're only going to have half, then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put on the ceiling just like this across our tunnel, so that way that is all complete. And also too, just as a side note, get your inventory prepared just like this with your items in this order. That'll help you build in the next few clips. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and put blocks on top of our pistons just like so. We're going to do that on both sides if it's a 2x2 door. Of course, everything, if you're doing it a 1x2 door, it's only going to be the half. So what we're going to do now is we're going to place in our redstone dust there, there, and there. Grab yourself a redstone repeater, place it on 2 ticks. We're going to place in redstone dust in both of those areas. Over here, we're going to do the same thing if it's a 2x2 door. Go ahead and put a 2-tick repeater with redstone in those areas. So once you have your doors wired up like this, then we're going to take ourselves a decorative block just like so. Go ahead and go up by 2. Then grab yourself a redstone torch and place it in there like that. If you're on Bedrock Edition, you'll have noticed that the top of your door should now be functioning. You should see that the blocks are now flush in the front. If you're on Java Edition, you would have noticed that your whole door is working and the bottom blocks are in there too. At this point, regardless of what version you're on, let's go ahead and test your door. What we're going to do is we're going to remove this redstone torch just like that, and you should see that your door doesn't leave any blocks behind. And if it is, which I'm actually happy, I've built mine in a chunk that does do that. Bedrock Edition has an issue where pistons don't always work the same, and they do stupid stuff like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to place 1 more tick on these repeaters, and this is only if you're experiencing this issue. If you're building in a chunk or in a weird area where it's leaving blocks behind. As you can see now, if we place in our torch, we should see that the door is now flush, and if we take that torch away, we should see that our pistons are now working just fine. So if you ever experience that issue on Bedrock Edition where you're leaving blocks behind it, just change those repeaters to 3 ticks. And then once you've got your pistons working correctly, then we're going to go ahead and place that torch back in there just like so. Go ahead and put some redstone dust on top of this block, and then right over here, we're going to go ahead and go up 3 blocks just like this. 1, 2, and 3, just like so. We're going to take ourselves a downwards facing sticky piston just like that, and we're going to go ahead and break all of these out. And once you have your piston in place just like this, then go ahead and put a redstone block on the bottom of it like so, and then go ahead and come onto this side. We're going to place in ourselves a temporary block with a copper bulb just like this. You can wax your copper bulb if you want to, and we're going to break out our temporary block. And then from there, what we need to do is we're going to put in ourselves a decorative block down here just like this. Then once we have that in place, we're going to grab ourselves a comparator. This comparator is going to go right in front of that redstone copper bulb right there. And once we have that in place, we can go ahead and use whatever type of block we want. We're going to place that up there just like so. We're going to bring this back here just like that, and we're going to break that block out. We're going to put redstone dust there and there and there. And then once you have that redstone in place, you're going to come to this side over here, and we're going to place in ourselves a downwards facing regular piston just like this. And on top of this block right here, we can go and place ourselves in whatever type of block we want, because under here is going to be a decorative block, and that's going to get hidden just like so. And then what we need to do is we need to grab some more redstone dust and place it on top of that piston. If you're playing on Java Edition, simply just put blocks on top of your pistons just like this, and then go ahead and put redstone dust on top of them. But if you're on Bedrock Edition, it works both ways, but it's cheaper not to use the blocks, so we just go like this and we put the redstone dust on top of the pistons. So once we have that in place, we can go ahead and come to the bottom of this piston tower right here. We need to come to the bottom of that guy. So we're going to come down below, and this is the bottom of that pillar right there. We're going to go ahead and place ourselves in a decorative block right there, a redstone block, and then any block of our choice right there. We're going to place in it 2 temporary blocks in there just like so. Break that one out. We're going to grab ourselves a piston and we're going to put it in there in the upwards position just like that. Once we have that in place, we're going to break this block. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some building blocks and go ahead and come right up here just like so. And then we're going to go ahead and place ourselves in a block in it just like that. Grab some redstone dust and you're going to place redstone dust in these areas and you're going to see that that's going to power that piston. But it's not going to extend it because this one up here is powered. When that one retracts, that one will push. Once you have that in place, next we're going to come to the back side of our pistons over here, to the back side of our door, and you can go ahead and complete up the floor if you like. Go ahead and do that, and we're going to place in some blocks over here so we can hide all of our redstone so we don't see all of that. We can go ahead and place in all these decorative blocks in here if you want to. And then once you have all that in place, you can put in the roof and the ceiling just like so. You don't need these blocks if you don't want. And then out the front here, we can go ahead and put ourselves in a facade and go ahead and have a floor, and you can extend this out as far as you like. Once the back side of your door is looking like this, next we can go ahead and come right over here. We're going to place in it a temporary block there and then a decorative block there. You don't necessarily need that one, but it's going to be a decorative block, so we're going to leave it there. And then go ahead and place yourself in a button right there. Once you've placed in the button, we're going to come right around to the back side. These can be your blocks of choice. We're going to come on down here just like so. We're going to put another block up there like that. We're going to put redstone dust on top of here and there. And then we're going to place a temporary block up there. That's going to be a decorative block most likely, so I'm going to leave that in there. We're going to place ourselves in a slab just like this, then a temporary block, another slab, and then another temporary block, and then another slab. Once you have 3 slabs, go ahead and break the 2 temporary blocks and put redstone dust on top of all of these. Once you have that in place, you're going to take your decorative blocks from this area. We're going to bring these over to connect up to that slab and continue the redstone dust all the way over. Once you've wired up that redstone, you should see now that if you take a redstone torch, you should be able to place it right here. It should go ahead and trigger just like that, and your door should change states from open to close. And again, if you're on Java Edition, the bottom will work too. And then if you place another torch in the same area, you should see that it opens. Then if you come on through, you should be able to hit this button. If you hit that button, you should see that your door closes behind you, and the pistons do extend, and the blocks go out to the front, making it look flush. And again, if you're on Java Edition, the bottom will work as well. And if you hit that button one more time, you should see that your pistons retract, and now you can exit back out. And once you exit back out, you should be able to close it right behind you just like you did before. If you're on Java Edition, your door is pretty much done. It's fully functional, and you can start filling in the floor, you can start filling in the walls, you could bring it up there and complete everything all in. And then, of course, this is kind of what needs to be there. Everything else can be kind of filled in however you want. If you're in a cave or wherever you're at, you can kind of make it look natural however you like. Just remember that if you're doing that, right next to your door, 5 blocks up from there is where you're placing your torch. And if you're playing on Bedrock Edition, then the bottom of your door doesn't work just like mine, because I'm on Bedrock Edition. And I don't recommend decorating just yet. We'll do that in a minute. Come on down below, because we're going to need to be down here, and place in 2 blocks off of that block right there with the redstone dust on top of it. Place another block on this side just like this, so you have 3 blocks right here with 1 coming out. On top of this piston, place in a temporary block and 1 out to the side, and then you can break that one out. Place the redstone dust on top of all of these blocks just like that. In front of this block, go ahead and place a temporary block and then 1 up like so. Do the same thing on this side. And then over here, place a redstone torch in right there and another redstone torch in right there. Grab yourself a repeater, and whatever the timings were that you had to put above, either 2 or 3 ticks, go ahead and match those timings on these repeaters as well. Go ahead and put 1 there, and you can put another one right here as well, just like that. So we're going to put those on 3 ticks, because up here on mine, we're in a funny chunk, and so therefore mine are working weird, and we need more than 2 ticks. So once you have that in place, next we're going to go ahead and place ourselves in a block in front of that repeater, and that'll go ahead and extend that piston. So that's the first bit of it done. Then what we need to do is we need to actually come out in front of that block like this. Go ahead and break out that temporary block and come up here just like so, and put redstone dust on top of both of those. That'll go ahead and make that work, but we don't have our stone block in there yet because of the way that the redstone powered up, so that's okay. On this side, we're going to do the exact same thing. So again, we need to go ahead and power that just like so. Put a block out there like this. Go ahead and put a temporary block there and 1 out to the side just like so. Grab your redstone dust and go ahead and put dust in there just like so. And again, on the front side, that's going to look just like this. If we go ahead and trigger our door, we're going to see that it should all retract just like that. Once we have that in place, now we should be able to trigger our door, and you should see that the bottom comes out just like so. And if we go ahead and come right around back, we should be able to test it with our button now. If we press the button, you should see that top and bottom both retract evenly, and then if you hit the button again, they both go back in place evenly. And as you saw at the end of that clip, the back of my door did not close evenly, and I'm pretty sure that's because we're in a funny chunk. That's why I'm having to use 3 ticks as well. But most of the time, you're going to see that if you use your door and it's in a funny chunk like this, it's going to open up evenly just like that most of the time. And I'm in a funny chunk, and see, it kind of closes funny, and I don't know why. That's just Bedrock for you. Once you have all that complete, your door is done, and then now all that's left to do is to decorate your area, so you can pretty much do that however you like. And just for fun, just because my example was a flat wall, I've gone ahead and decorated my area like a cave. And as you can see, I've got my 5-block tall area right here. It really is kind of unsuspecting. It doesn't look like anything. And if we place ourselves in our torch right there, you can see that our door opens up just like so. And if we close it back in there just like that, it goes right back together and it looks nice and flush, and nobody can tell that there's a door there. And then the back side, I've decided to decorate as just a flat wall. And then of course our button is over here and the door opens up nice and seamlessly, and then if we close it back again, we can close the door behind us. You could also build another one of these doors facing the other direction, and if you had that right here, then you could have 2 doors that go back to back, so each side it looks flush. And then each side of your door could look nice and flush just like this. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial. This thing is super easy to build and fun to use and looks really cool. So smack that like button for me and subscribe if you guys are new. I'm Broken Bones, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Take it easy, everybody.